Good evening, William. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good, good. Good evening. How are you, everyone who's able to join our virtual meeting? Today, we're going to have a delighted guest, Debbie Lewis, to talk to us about ranked choice voting, something that we really need to learn about if we don't know already. Those that has been in the voting system for many years understand the importance about voting, and many have died for the right to vote. Today, the game changed to a certain degree, and Debbie is going to share with us some of her expertise and knowledge about the ranked choice voting. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you so much. So I am going to share my screen. Before I do so, just wanted to let you know that I dropped something in the chat. We are running a mock election and we are ranking the most influential New York City women, past and present. So below in the paragraph, you will see a link for that, and you can go ahead and participate in the mock election. You don't have to put your real information. You can literally put any characters in the box. You could participate in the mock election. So again, my name is Debbie Lewis. I am the lead organizer with Rank the Vote NYC, and I will go ahead and begin sharing my screen, and we will begin the presentation. All right. Sure. Thank you. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so let's get a quick recap to our upcoming changes to our local election. Due to a costly low turnout runoff election that was held for public advocate and comptroller, it prompted a debate over the use of runoff elections. So our current Manhattan Borough President, Gail Brewer, introduced the first ranked choice voting bill back in 2010. So we've been having this ranked choice voting conversation for almost 11 years now. At that time, the Charter Revision Commission decided to hold multiple public hearings, hear from experts, and accept testimony on a wide variety of issues before presenting RCV to voters. The same process followed in 2018, and the Charter Revision Commission voted 14-1 to place ranked choice voting for primaries and special elections on the November 2019 ballot. On the November 2019 ballot, this passed with nearly 75% of the vote. So why are we here? The conjunction of our robust campaign finance system and the implementation of term limits has led to a wealth of diverse candidates who under the current system would be splitting the vote. Under the current system of voting, city council members are elected with a plurality, which means that a candidate can win with as little as 20% of the vote. Too often we actually see that happens mostly in primaries, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. So starting on January 1st, 2021, for all local primary and special elections, for city council, borough president, public advocate, comptroller, and mayor, they will all be ranked choice voting elections. So in order for it to be a ranked choice voting election, there must be multiple candidates, minimum of 3, in order for you to rank. So runoffs are now eliminated, and candidates will need to win with at least 50% plus 1 of first choice votes in order for them to win. So voters will now have the option to rank up to 5 candidates, including a write-in if they choose. Another important note to mention here is that RCV is only triggered if no candidate fails to reach a majority of 50% plus 1 of first choice votes. So we know that in Queens, there was 2 special elections. One was a ranked choice voting election, and the first one was not, because that candidate, before it even went into rounds and into ranks, they won with over 50% plus 1 of the vote. I think it was like 62% or something like that. Okay. And so that's if there's no candidate that fails to trigger that, then this is the process that we will go into. So we know that election day is June 22nd. We know we have early voting. So I usually encourage people to go out to vote early so you can avoid the lines and the crowds, okay? And the last day to register to vote is May 28th. So what is ranked choice voting? For voters, it's exactly what it sounds like. So you rank your candidates in order of preference. So your first choice is the candidate that you love. You wear a t-shirt, button, a hat. This is your person. You are sold out for them. You raise money, whatever it is. This is your person. You want to see them in office. Your second choice is a candidate that you like. So you can think about it this way. If your first choice candidate had to call off their campaign and they can no longer run, right, and everything had to end, your second choice candidate would serve as a backup. Fortunately for us, we have additional, so we can continue to go to 3, 4, and 5. And those can serve as additional backups, and you'll understand why in a little bit. So again, you can just vote for 1, you can rank up to 3, or you can rank up to 5. So we're going to play a short video, and then after this, we are going to review the mock election.
Hi, I'm Olivia Owl. Changes are coming to the way we vote. With the new ranked choice voting, the next time you vote, instead of choosing just one candidate, you can rank them all from your first choice to your last. Here's how it works. Let's say these 5 candidates all run for mayor of Animal Town. This voter ranks Lucinda as her top choice for mayor. She also ranks her second choice, Diego, third choice, Betty, fourth choice, Roberto, and fifth choice, Felix. If Lucinda wins more than 50% of all the first-ranked votes, then she's the new mayor. However, if no candidate gets more than 50%, then the least popular candidate is eliminated. Sorry, Felix. The remaining second-ranked votes from Felix's voters are redistributed. So if a number of Felix's voters rank Betty and Diego, then those 2 candidates receive additional votes. The new totals are counted, and the process repeats until one candidate earns more than 50% of the total votes. Congrats, Diego, you're the new mayor. Back in the real world, before it's time to vote.
All right. So we are coming out with a video that was just a cute little animal illustration video that shows us how ranked choice voting works. But we will have a more New York City specific one that's going to be released to us next week. At this time, I want to review the mock election. Let me see. I see a few people participated, so let me go ahead and share that. Okay, here we go. So this is what we will see on election night, okay, or after all of the ballots are counted. So we know that there were 10 candidates and there were 126 people that participated in this election. So how does this all work? So like I said, in Queens, right, there was one election where it triggered RCV and there was another one where it did not. In this particular case, it triggers RCV. So the first round, we see that Shirley Chisholm is leading with 46 votes. We know that she needs 64 to win, or anyone really needs 64 votes to win to reach that threshold because there were 126 people that participated in this election. We see that Mary J. Blige has 2. She's at the bottom. Madam C.J. Walker has 3. Tish has 5. Marsha has 6. Bella has 7. Cardi B has 8. Sonia has 9. Eleanor has 10. And RBG has 30. All right, so let's figure this out. So we know we have to go into the next round because no one has a majority right here. So we're going into round 2. In round 2, we see that Mary J. Blige was eliminated because it is mathematically impossible for her to reach this majority. Not enough people met her, liked her, or heard from her, right? And so her votes were redistributed to voters' second favorite choice, and that was Madam C.J. Walker. We know there's still no winner, so we go into round 3. Something very interesting happened before we go into round 3. We see that Madam C.J. Walker and Tish James are both eliminated. I'm so sad Tish is being eliminated, but another day, another conversation. So the 5, we see that both of them have 5 and they're both going to be eliminated. Why? We call that batch eliminations. It just makes it easier for Board of Elections to count. Okay, they're not eliminating or throwing anything out. They're counting all of the voters' ballots. So what we'll see is that we know it's impossible for them to reach a majority. And so they're batch eliminated, but the voters' ballots, whoever they ranked next, those votes will now be counted to whoever's next. Those candidates are now eliminated. Just like the public advocate race in 2019, there were people that got 0.03% of the vote or 5% of the vote, and we know 300,000 people came out to vote. Those people would have been eliminated, and the people who actually could potentially win, they're still in these rounds. So we're following them to see how many people actually ranked them or voted for them, okay? So now we're going into round 4. Marsha P. Johnson is eliminated. We're going into round 5. Bella is eliminated. The votes are redistributed. No one still has a majority. Shirley is still leading, okay? Round 6, Cardi B is eliminated. Those votes were redistributed. Shirley Chisholm is still leading. She has 58. We know she's really close at 64. And I'll pause right here really quickly. And I'll just say this, 30% of the time, if a person is leading in the first round, they're more than likely going to continue to lead in all of the rounds, which means that 70% of the time, they're more than likely going to be the winner. Okay, so now we're going to go into round 7. We see that Sonia is eliminated. Shirley's still leading. People love her. They feel like she was influential. And so what's going to happen in this last round is that Eleanor will be eliminated, and you'll see something very interesting happen. Now pause again. There are 3 exhausted votes, okay? What that means is voters more than likely ranked up to top 3, 4, or 5, okay? And I'm thinking this is 5 based off of this being round 8 of voting. So people probably ranked up to 4. And then there were 3 voters who decided that they didn't have a number 5. And so they are not going to be a part of this final tally because they probably did not rank Shirley in 1, 2, 5. Okay, let's just make that as an example. So now Eleanor will be eliminated. Shirley still wins, right? She was winning. She was kind of trending in all of the rounds. She wins. She passed the majority of the threshold. But what we see here is the final 2 candidates. And in New York City, we are going to go to the final 2 candidates, okay? So although there is a winner, we're going to see the tally or the final numbers between the last 2 candidates. So it may go a little faster than this. We'll see the round by round vote redistribution, but the counting will be way faster than this. It's almost instantaneous, just like when we put our ballots in the machine, it counts it that fast. right? So that's how we will see it once all of the data is released to us through Board of Elections. We are going to see the round by round vote totals. All right, now I am going to go back. I have just a few more slides and then we can take some Q&A. All right, so this is what the ballot will look like. I tell everyone to just prepare. You know, the specific seat will be listed at the top. You go across your row and down your column. If you still want to vote for just one person, you can. But if you're going to rank, take your time to make sure that you go through your rows and your columns the correct way. We know that the ballots will be long. And so because ranked choice voting is for municipal seats only, the municipal races, the ballots will be on one side and the judicial or the DA races will be on another side of the ballot. So the counting of rounds are run after all ballots are counted. So the counting of rounds kicks in only if no candidate receives 50% plus one of first choice votes. And the official winner will not be declared until all votes are counted, including early, election day, affidavit, and absentee votes. And the round by round vote totals will be released to the general public. So why should voters use their rankings? More choice and more power. So even if your favorite candidate doesn't win, you still have a say in who's elected. And that's what I was talking about, the exhausted votes. So if your votes are exhausted, if you do not rank and your favorite candidate is knocked out early because not enough people voted for them in round one, you will not have a say in who's elected. So you can vote your conscience without worrying that you're wasting your vote, and ranking a second or third choice will never hurt your favorite candidate. So here are some frequently asked questions. How many candidates do I rank? You can rank up to 5 candidates, as many or as few as you would like. Do I have to use all 5 rankings? No, actually your vote will still count if you only rank one or a couple of candidates. But like I said before, your ranked choice voting ballot will work as hard for you as long as it can. But if your favorite candidate gets knocked off or your candidates get knocked off and you haven't continued to rank, then there's no more use for your ballot. We have to go to a voter's ballot who ranked all 5. Can I rank a candidate more than once? It does not help your favorite candidate to rank them more than once. This does not supercharge your vote or give the candidate extra points because it's not a point system. So like I said before, your vote will only count for your first choice as long as they're in the race. But if they're eliminated and they're the only person you ranked on your ballot, your vote has nowhere to go. I will also say this, if you mess up on your ballot in person, you can request 2 additional ballots so that you can fix it. If you are ranking and not doing it in the correct order, the machine will spit out your ballot, it will invalidate it, and you would, if you want to, which, I mean, you already came out to vote, so why not? You would request another ballot and fix it there. If you are mailing in your ballot, there is no curing process. So you would have to know that you made a mistake in order for you to request an additional ballot early enough so that you can fix this mistake. Remember that our ballots are still secret, so no one can open it and say, you made a mistake on your ballot. So you would have to know that you made this mistake. There will be instructions on how to correctly fill out your RCV mail-in ballot. That will be a part of the instructions that come in with the envelope. Does it hurt my favorite candidate to have a second choice? No, your second or third choices will only be looked at if your first choice is eliminated. So we're still in the middle of a pandemic. You know, speaking to people about ranked choice voting is not easy, especially wearing a mask. So What I like to tell everyone is to use these fundamentals so that we can empower and encourage our people to get out to vote. So starting in 2021, New York City voters will have the option to rank their top 5 candidates in our local primary and special elections for mayor, comptroller, public advocate, borough president, and city council. If voters still want to vote for just one candidate, they still can. So the why, RCV equals more power for voters. So you don't need to worry about wasting your vote, accidentally helping elect someone that you don't support, by splitting the vote, or by someone being elected with less than a majority. So at this time, we will take some Q&A, but I want to leave this up here. If you know someone that would like to, get a training, a different group that would like a training, you can send an email to info@rankthevotenyc.org. You can also visit the website. We have materials translated in 13 different languages. We are releasing a video and additional materials to support voters, to support partner groups or community-based organizations, and as well as candidates. And all of that material can be co-branded if needed by candidates or by partner groups, of course, with the correct disclaimer on the bottom of the material, especially if it will be printed. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to stop talking at you and start talking with you. So do we have any questions?
No questions. I cannot believe it.
You know,
I guess you covered everything, Debbie.
sometimes I'm just that good, I heard. I don't know.
You really are, I tell you. And I want to thank you, Debbie, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to teach us and educate us about the process to a fine detail level. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll definitely be back. Let me know if you all have any questions. We will be releasing a video. It's less than 2 minutes. It's a guy in a bodega, right? A New York City bodega. And so there's a bodega cat in it and kind of makes us feel like more New York City so we can really understand it and share that out. It will be housed on YouTube. So if anyone needs, that video so you could share it out, we will be blasting. I'll send it to Mr. William and then everyone can, get it from him if need be.
Yes, absolutely. We will continue to stay in contact. We'll continue to educate folks, especially the younger generation. And I appreciate the way you explain the process very simply to some of us that may not pick up certain fine details as fast. But I thank you the way you explain yourself and communicate it across the board for everyone to basically understand. I thank you. I want to give out a great shout out, a shout out to another marketing guy, Torian Casey, which set up this Zoom call for us. And I want to also shout out Tansy Silver. And of course, I thank everyone else for joining us. I'm Bill Suggs. Again, you will be hearing from us in the near future. Thank you very much, Debbie. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.